I don't know what I expected, but it certainly wasn't equal parts Brendan Fraser's The Mummy and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode Normal again, but I am here for it. I'm Gayfesh, and today we're discussing episode 4 of Moon Knight, The Tomb. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. As always, spoilers. Okay, this episode has just about everything I could want save one thing. No Moon Knight costume this week. It's understandable. The Ennead shoved Khonshu into a little statue, cutting off his power to his avatar. But we more than make up for it with Layla's ingenuity. I think I lost count of how many creatively lethal uses she found for emergency flares. The first half of the episode is a big focus on her. As they make their way into Amit's tomb, we learn all about how she suffers from writers unable to let a female professional have their job without their father teaching them everything. It's definitely a weak point in the writing, but it's more than made up for by lots of tomb raiding action and a couple kick-ass mummy guard fights. We also find out that Amit's last avatar was none other than Alexander the Great, whose tomb this is. There is a scene where Arthur and Layla speak from across a chasm, and he reveals that when he weighed Mark's soul, he had a glimpse of his sins, and implies that he was one of the mercenaries who murdered Layla's dad. She catches back up with him, and while Steven has been behind the wheel the whole time, he finally gives control back to Mark, who explains that his mercenary partner got greedy and not only killed Layla's dad, but shot Mark himself. It appears only Khonshu was able to save him. Which is a real shame, since Khonshu is locked away in a little stone statue and Arthur and his minions catch up with Mark. Arthur shoots him twice, and it almost feels like this episode is going to end on that cliffhanger, but nope. Suddenly, we're transported to a mental hospital where all the characters we've seen before on the show are portrayed as patients or orderlies. They could have leaned more heavily on the, oh, is Mark actually crazy here? But I'm happy that they established that no, this is likely all in his head or some limbo space. The fact Mark and Steven have different bodies and can directly interact is a great choice. And ending on a cheery hippo goddess is a great hook for next week. I can't wait. Each episode of this show is better than the last. So what do you think? Is he in limbo? Is it all in his head? Has he been transported to the realm of the gods? Is he actually crazy? Leave a comment down below.
Of course he's actually crazy. That was never in question.
Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share the video with your friends. Subscribe to my Patreon to get shouted out in future videos. Check out my Bandcamp for banging tunes, including all the tracks you heard in this video. Follow me on Twitter at GayestFesh, and don't forget to check out my podcast, The Rest of Both Worlds, where I go through Star Trek The Next Generation with a friend who's never seen it. Thank you to all my patrons, with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Renee Vorbeck. Your support is greatly appreciated. See you all in the next video.